as we wait on Detroit Lions Day 2 observations to release, we'll talk about that in a later video. The Detroit Lions have now become the betting favorite to land Matthew Judon, according to Bet Massachusetts. Now, remember, we did a video last week talking about this very same thing, where the Detroit Lions were number 4, and now they have shot up the list to number 1. They were behind the Baltimore Ravens, the Atlanta Falcons, the Dallas Cowboys, and then it was the Detroit Lions, with the New England Patriots being at the bottom, or number 5. Now that percentage is 40% that he stays where he is. And now the Detroit Lions, who I find it odd that their percentage did not change, but the other team's percentages went down, are now the betting favorite to land Matthew Judon. Now, I'm going to say this and put this out there, as I just got a tweet that day 2 observations have dropped, so I'll record that in a second. But I think that there is some truth to this. I really do, because somebody somewhere got to be leaking some information. And I know I made a video about Haason Reddick. Haason Reddick, although he would be an upgrade, no doubt, when it comes to our pass rush, I believe that right now, I think Judon would honestly be the better fit. I'm going to tell you why. He fits the mold of what we're trying to do. See, the Detroit Lions, we know you don't have to be the most talented guy, but you have to have what it takes in here. That's what they're looking for. And although I do like Haason Reddick, I know he's trying to protect his family and get his money, get his security. I like Judon's attitude a little bit better, and I think the Detroit Lions would too. Here's what he had to say, and here's why I say that. Here's what Judon had to say, and this is coming from NFL.com about his contract, his current contract. Said, "My signature's on it, so I got to play on it." Judon said Wednesday, Do I think that's my value? No. But again, that's not up to me. I hope I can continue to play here and be a catalyst to one of the best defenses in the league. If that's not the case, that's not the case. It's hard not to be jealous or envious, but honestly, I've got to focus on myself. As much as everyone would like me to stay around here for a long time, it's not up to me. I would pay myself a lot of money and be cool with it. And he will be 32 years old during training camp. Here's the thing, though. It says that he is set to earn just $6.5 million in base salary in 2024, and the $11.25 million per average on his current deal is well below other edge rushers of his ilk. And then he goes on to say that he tells his daughter he really doesn't want to move again, but of course that's the nature of the business. And he tells us his 9-year-old daughter that he can only control what he can control, and his contract and all that stuff. Whether he stays in New England, he can't control that. So Matthew Judon becoming the Detroit Lions becoming the betting favorite according to Bet Massachusetts, which is one of the states that makes up New England, right? Now believe all of a sudden that the Detroit Lions are the betting favorite to land him. Nothing has happened. Dan Campbell has not come out and said anything about the defensive line. He has not mentioned anything. So I don't know how all of a sudden will we go from number 4 to number 1, unless there's some inside information coming from somewhere. We also heard rumors of Danielle Hunter as the trade deadline was looming. And then turns out, allegedly, Brad Holmes wanted to make a trade for Danielle Hunter. Danielle Hunter didn't want to be traded. And Brad Holmes looked like he was perturbed, man, on the podium right after the trade deadline. So is there some truth? Is there some inside information somewhere? I truly believe that there is. Now, of course, we've got to see how training camp plays out. We've got to see all of those things, but I could really see this happening. And I could see a 2-year extension for Matthew Judon if he were to be traded to the Detroit Lions. It would be tough to get him a 3 because that would put him at 35 years old. But I will say this. Age ain't nothing but a number to Brad Holmes. We signed 36-year-old Bruce Irvin, 34-year-old Tyson Alu, and we just continue to make moves with guys over 30. So don't let 32 fool you, especially if the guy can produce. So I really believe that there is a ton of truth to this. I think that the Detroit Lions are trying to see how those pass rushers play out. Because if you look at the Pride of Detroit, the video we did a couple days ago about the 53-man roster projection, I wasn't too confident at our defensive line. at all. If James Houston, Matthew Betts not making the team, I'm not too confident. Even if Matthew makes the team, I'm still not that confident in our defensive line. Now, is Marcus Davenport going to be healthy? I know all the guys that were on the NFI list are now off, so I don't know what the purpose of that was, that 24 hours on it. Maybe they had to be on it to start camp and then they could come. I have no clue. That's the first time I've ever seen that. So I think that while it is unlikely that we see something during training camp, okay, I think that we could see something at the trade deadline, and I think that Matthew Judon could be that guy. But I like his attitude, and I think the Detroit Lions, you've got production, you've got attitude. Hassan Reddick is going to be fined $50,000 a day. Him, Trent Williams, Brandon Ayuk, those guys, man. And if you think about it, the Detroit Lions, we've never had anybody hold out. I think St. Brown was close. I said that last video. I think he was close, but they take care of people, right? Their own. They take care of them. So I think that Judon, I can make a case for him. Not sure to be training camp, but it would be during probably at the trade deadline. So we'll keep an eye on that. Or the Detroit Lions could be on the phone with them now, because if you wait to the trade deadline, you run the risk of a guy getting hurt. And don't forget, the trade deadline is pushed back a week. It's a week later than it was last year. So maybe the Detroit Lions don't want to risk it, and they will pull the trigger during training camp. We'll see. But we got to see. We got to see how it'll be a while. I don't think anything would happen early on. We're talking about, in my opinion, if Matthew Judon was to be traded, I think the Detroit Lions would make the move after preseason, but before the start of the regular season. Now, that will put Judon a little bit behind the 8 ball, not knowing our system and things like that, but dude is a veteran. I'm sure he could pick it up really quick. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hopefully next video, man, I'll have some information about what's going on with FanaticU, just waiting back to hear from them. So hopefully I can drop that information for you guys next video. This channel is brought to you by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. And I want to say thank you. We hit 21,000 subscribers yesterday. Is it a big deal? Absolutely is. Am I going to celebrate every 1,000? No, that's 21 was just massive to get. It just took forever to get there. It took about 4 months, and that's one of the longest times. Obviously, football was going on, but I just want to say thank you. We will be having giveaways every 1,000 subscribers starting at 21,000, so that giveaway will be happening soon. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other, and as always, go Lions.